Welcome to Season 2 of Gaming with Scott presents Marvel Superheroes, a Southgate Media podcast. Join us each week as our intrepid heroes follow a path of adventure and attempt to save the world and each other from the dangers of the universe. Starring Martin Davis, Josh Elliott, Dan Gentry, Josh Jackson, and Rico Suarez, with me, Scott Troiano, running the table as the judge. Galactic adventure and titanic struggles await you just beyond this music. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition, a one-on-one edition of Gaming with Scott. I'm here with Josh Elliott.
Hello.
He's back. That was not my fault. I'll just leave that right there. So, anyhow...
Here I left you. Here I found you.
What? You got to poke last time. I get to poke this time. Shut up. All right, we're better.
Are we
So you're just sitting there minding your own business. How long are you going to sit there and mind your own business?
Well, first of all, I'm waiting to see if a slightly snarky smuggler walks in and an alien starts talking to him, and then he's got his hand under the table kind of thing, because if anything like that goes down, I'm out.
Well, no, you're not actually in a bar or a cantina. This is sort of like an American Airlines waiting lounge. There's like chairs and stuff, and you're kind of sitting there, and there's nobody else really around you.
Well, first of all, I'm not really going to sit, because I guarantee you these chairs are not designed for me.
Okay. You go over to one of the chairs, and it kind of spreads out.
Oh.
Like they're used to larger sized life forms, if possible.
Cool.
I mean,
I'll go ahead and sit down.
Okay, you sit down.
I'll wait.
Okay. First 5 minutes passes, next 5 minutes passes, third 5 minutes passes. You're about 15 minutes in, and you notice that everybody that passes by the little shop front of this particular sort of waiting lounge kind of not only a little more than sideward glances, sort of kind of that like look of like, loser? What are you sitting there for? All right, whatever. And they're just sort of, you're not getting a positive vibe off of any of the body language of any of the species that walk by.
Can I make an intuition roll?
You certainly can.
Intuit. And I rolled a 60.
Okay. It's almost like this is the short bus.
Okay.
Kind of like, everybody else kind of has somewhere to go, somewhere to be, and either either you're being a little bit sensitive because you're the only human out at Station 5 way on the other side of the galaxy, or, I mean, you do look around, you notice nobody else is coming. I mean, the place is hopping. It's middle of the afternoon, middle of the evening, whatever the case may be. I mean, it's obvious that work has gotten out, whatever that means for the space station. And you're moving along, and traffic is brisk, and people have eaten and stuff like that. But even with a significant degree of traffic, like, it's not like somebody shops at this shop, and then they got bags, and then they come to the next store, and then they come to the next store, and they just needed a second to sit down, so they take their bags and stuff and come in here and sit down, and then, take a couple minutes and then get up and go. Like, no one else has come to sit over here. You've noticed a bunch of folks have gone up and talked to the information desk and gone somewhere else. Like, there have been a couple of times that you've even seen the counter help, the blue and red pair, have even motioned like, well, you can go sit over there, and folks have been like, no, and it's not because they looked at you. You didn't even seem to factor into it. It's just one of those like, well, you can go wait in the cubby hole, and they're like, no, I'm not waiting in the cubby hole. It's almost like there's a stigma.
Yeah.
You can't put you don't know what it is. You can't necessarily put your finger on it, but in the 15 minutes that you've seen people go into bars and go into eating establishments and shops, nobody's come in here.
I'm just wondering why the lady at the counter would be so helpful just to put me into an oubliette. That's interesting. But there's got to be an information panel thinger over here, and I would like to go over to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Get it speaking my language.
Okay. Takes about 3 or 4 tries, and then it's Englishy enough. You get it.
Give me directions from here to the docks, please.
Up 3 floors.
Alrighty then. Are currently docked private ships publicly listed?
There are 3.
Show me their dossiers, please.
It shows 3 names. Ship A, Ship B, and Ship C. Doesn't have much more information than that.
Oh, okay. No, I don't have it. I was wondering if I realized I don't have it, but I had that little thing that the Arcanines gave us.
Oh, the business card with the button on it?
Yeah.
No, Rico's got that.
Yeah. I will go to the elevator and up to the docks.
Okay.
Or attempt to.
All right. The elevator opens. It steps in. Destination, please.
Docks, please.
Floor 11.
Yes.
Bing. Bing. Door opens. Same hallway that leads down to the dart bay that you were at the right before the door to the dart bay. Hallway goes off to the left and right. It's obviously a docking ring.
Oh, okay. Do I see anybody milling about?
People moving to and from the elevator. I mean, 2 lizard reptiloids, whatever you want to call them. They get in the elevator and they're like looking at you like, "Are you getting out?"
Do either of you know where I might be able to talk to a ship's captain?
For what?
I need to arrange passage.
Then you don't wish to speak to a ship's captain.
Who would I need to speak with?
Their executive officer. The captain does not book passage.
Thank you. That's helpful. Do you know how I could do that?
You can inquire in the panel at the end of the hall.
Thank you. Go inquire at the panel at the end of the hall.
Okay. You go over to the panel. There's ships A, B, and C that were the 3 private ships. There are 2 starliners that are there as well, that are listed as well. They have a listing of the XOs for all 5 ships, and the ability to what appears to be, especially now that you're into the docking ring, you can potentially hit a button to either call them or communicate with them.
How can I be this brilliant and have this hard of a time?
It's translated tech, dude.
Yeah. I mean, does it tell me anything more about the ships?
Not as such.
So?
I mean, not with, I'm just a visitor who has no particular clearance or affiliation, and I'm just asking I'm just asking general questions.
It's just like, hey, you got work?
Right?
So I mean, there's a button to call them, but is there a button where potentially I can leave them a message?
No.
Oh God.
Call/communicate.
Call/communicate. Well, I'll start with the first one, I guess.
Ship A?
Sure.
Okay. You hit the call/communicate button. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You hit it. Lights up. Fades.
Hit the next one.
Okay. Lights up. Fades.
Gonna wait for a second just in case.
Just in case.
In case that petitions them, and then I'm gonna get called by multiple people at the same time or something.
No, fair enough. All right.
Nothing? No. Okay. Was it help?
How may I help you?
I am attempting to communicate with executive officers on board the ship. However, when I hit the call communicate button, it fades out and nothing happens.
Have you hit the call communicate button?
Yes.
Thank you. Did you need more help?
Oh. It's like universal. Oh. Yes, I do need more help.
How may I be of assistance?
Instruct me on how to use the call communicate button.
Press the call communicate button.
And then?
Your call will be initiated.
Disconnect the help. Because
You're like, dumb.
Ah.
And to your left, you hear, what?
My name is Simon Wells. I am attempting to book passage.
Tromping down the hall towards you is a large, bearded, pale individual. Big guy. 7.5 feet tall, really muscular, looks like a space pirate. Looks like a space Blackbeard if Blackbeard was an albino. Just the skin. Real weird. Almost see-through translucent. He's closing on you quickly. What do you want?
My name is Simon Wells. I'm trying to book passage.
So you called me out here for that? You couldn't come to my ship? You made me come to you?
I didn't think I had the clearance to get through the door.
Why not?
I don't actually have an ident. It's a long story.
You're not making points.
I can do security. These are the coordinates I need to go to. Are you going anywhere in that direction?
Behind you, you hear, Anthor, you did this.
I'm looking behind me.
Okay. Very tall, very skinny, almost elf-like. Again with the translucent skin. Space piratey type getup, only he's the skinny version of Mr. Muscles behind you.
Okay.
Who is also tromping forward through. Anthor, did you call me from my ship? Anthor looks over your shoulder and goes, no, this guy did, apparently. He's just hitting call to everybody, summoning everyone out of their ships to meet in the hallway for some sort of powwow.
I didn't know how this worked.
You don't know what calling someone to you does?
Never actually been aboard a station before. It's a long story.
They both look at you with the incredulity. What? How have you never been on a space station before? The skinny guy goes, yeah, that's just weird. I don't know that I like you.
Oh, no. Wrong foot. Look, I'm good at breaking people and things, so I can do security. I just need to get back home. That's all I'm trying to do here.
Where's home?
Give them the coordinates.
They're like, they both visibly take a step backwards. They both ask simultaneously, Arkanoid?
It's in a gray area of international law? Intergalactic law? Galactic law. Galactic.
They're both eyeballing you like you are a squid talking to them from a frying pan.
Okay, this cannot be the first time you've had somebody with a sketchy story.
No, but Arkanoids don't have sketchy stories. Are you an Arkanoid?
No.
But you want to travel into Arkanoid space?
Need to get there.
Why?
That's where I am from.
Call the Arkanoids.
Lord, how do I do that?
This Antor's the same way you called me.
Which
and
button do I push?
And the wall thing pops up. Press call/communicate. The help thing comes up. What? And the skinny guy goes, yeah, what the comm unit said, and walks away.
Help.
How may I be of assistance?
How do I contact the Arkanoid Empire?
Screen goes black.
Oh, God.
Initiating contact to the Arkanoid Empire.
Oh.
Screen comes up, relatively pale blue. It looks like kind of like Andorians. You know what I'm talking about when I say that? Pale blue skin, white hair, only with no antenna this time.
Okay.
Almost pale blue to almost purple. Not purple, but it's blue. Red eyes.
Okay.
Like the whites of the eye is all red, and the pupils are a paler red.
That's what the guy in the craft looked like, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
absolutely. This is the Arcanide representative. How may I help you?
Hello. My name is Simon Wells. I'm a citizen of the planet at these coordinates, and I am stranded in deep space. I technically don't know where I am, and I need to get home.
You are calling from Space Station 5 in the Ori system.
Outstanding.
Now you know where you are. How else may I be of assistance?
As I said, I need to get home. I'm trying to book passage on ships here, but no one wants to go anywhere near. As you are aware, my people are not natural spacefaring people, so this is kind of awkward for me.
So how may the Arkanoid Empire be of service to you?
Can you help me get home?
Possibly.
Depending on...
How would I do that?
Okay. It's just like as a citizen of that planet, am I not a citizen of the Arkanoid Empire?
One moment. And he taps some buttons on the console in front of him, and he goes, we don't have that planet registered as a member of our empire.
Wow. Okay. I must have misunderstood then.
When was your
How
planetary body registered with our empire?
I'm not certain as to the exact date. It was relatively recent, from what I understood.
How recent?
Let's see, within a couple months. Well, months for my planet.
Oh, within that many cycles? The paperwork may not have been completely brought through. One moment, let me check something.
Deep space database issues.
Ah, scouting report. Interesting. One moment.
I'm hearing vowels. That's a good thing.
Oh, see, even an empire as vast as ours still has paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
These things need to be done. I've expedited your petition for membership within the Arkanoid
No,
Empire.
I'm not petitioning on behalf of the planet for membership. That is not what I'm doing.
As a member
I don't
of
give
the
my consent
Empire,
to any part of that process.
could easily arrange passage for you back to the planet in question.
You understand, I don't have the authority to do that.
To travel home?
I don't have the authority to petition.
No, the petition's already been entered. I'm just going to expedite it on your behalf.
No, I don't. No, I don't know what that means.
That means I can easily set you up with a ride home.
Well, yes, but on the flip side, does that mean that you're going to show up in a few days with mining operations? I mean, what?
Oh, no. There are no mineralogical surveys or information in the petition for filing that would put you in a mining category.
What? Resource extraction, period.
Oh, no, there doesn't seem to be anything that's overly needed by the Empire at this point in time.
I have a feeling you're going to do this whether I consent to it or not. Correct?
Go home?
No,
I thought you would consent to that.
The expedite.
I don't understand the question.
You're going to expedite on my behalf.
Oh, it's already been done. Well, I found the paperwork that had been, entered and hadn't been processed yet. I merely moved it to the front of the queue, but it has processed while we've been speaking. You said Simon Wells, correct?
No. I said Caesar 1. Caesar 1.
I can easily add that name to the petition as well. What?
Never mind. I was joking.
What?
Simon Wells. Put it on there. Who cares at this point?
Caesar 1.
No,
okay.
you don't need to put that.
Citizen Wells.
Uh-huh.
How soon do you need to travel?
As soon as possible.
Is this a matter of diplomatic importance?
Well, yes, technically, I have to inform the United Nations that our petition has been expedited. So I can't argue that. Sure.
What if you're going to dig? Just dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Are you formally requesting your name be submitted as the diplomatic relation?
Wait, no, hang on. This is a part of bureaucracy I'm actually familiar with. No, I am not requesting that because parameters do not allow me to request that. However, I am requesting that on the grounds that my returning home will allow me to be appointed as such to make that request.
Well, between you and I, Citizen Wells, the understanding is that even though I've expedited and now entered your petition for membership into the Empire, there are still a lot of formalities and other paperwork that needs to be done before that's all finalized.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but if one of our citizens is stranded somewhere, then having a recognized petition for citizenship for your particular solar system on file makes it easier for us to help arrange your return to the Empire.
Alrighty then. I think I understand now. Thank you for being so helpful.
Oh, that's what I do.
So, yes, I believe my travel does have a diplomatic purpose, but as stated, I cannot formally request that I submit myself for that position.
Excellent. Will you need any sort of escort?
Is the space between here and there particularly hostile?
Well, all space is hostile, but I mean, I don't know if you've been out in it recently. So,
in that case, yes.
Oh, well then, and he types a little bit, looks back in. Was there anything else you needed then?
Where do I need to go and wait?
That is up to you. Whatever's most comfortable for you. You're on Space Station 5, correct?
Correct.
I'd suggest that you go down to level 8 and ask the information TT Hatchnexul where the most comfortable resting place would be. Personally, I would recommend Leo's at the end of the promenade. However, some find that to be a bit stuffy. They tend to cater to Arkanoid specific. Your species may or may not find that as comfortable as Arkanoids do. That's sort of up to you. So those are the only recommendations that I have.
Okay. Thank you very much. He told me his name and I don't remember. Thank you very much.
Consul
Loren.
Uh-huh.
And hopefully I won't have to talk to you again for quite a while.
Certainly, your ride will be there shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you. And screen cuts out.
And I will go head down to that lounge he mentioned.
Okay. You go down to floor 8. Get out. You pass the information kiosk on the way down. Leo's is on the end. There is almost no one in Leo's. There are a few patrons that are basically sitting by themselves. Leo's looks large. It is well lit. It is beige carpeted. It is ivory tabled. It looks like if you bumped something and knocked it over, there's lots of money. It looks very expensive. And you step up, and a rather thin, bespectacled, 5.5 foot tall gentleman steps out in front of you in what might be a suit, strips of cloth in multicolors, and says, "How may I help you?"
I've arranged transit back home. I was instructed by Consul
Loren.
that this might be the best place to wait.
Consul Loren, I'm unfamiliar with the name.
You could look him up in the database.
I could. Do you have anything more for me? Or will you be your name, perhaps? An account number, perhaps? This is a relatively high-end establishment. We don't encourage visitors.
I'm in an awkward position. My planet recently petitioned. The petition is being expedited as we speak.
Petitioned whom?
The Empire.
Which
For
empire?
The Arkanoid Empire.
Oh, the Arkanoid Empire. And his entire demeanor shifts. He stands a little straighter, his shoulders pull back. How may I help you, citizen?
I just wanted to go inside and wait for my transport.
Do you have an account number?
No.
Would you like me to credit you on behalf of the Empire?
I'm reluctant to do that because I'm frankly unfamiliar with how your currency system works, and I don't know when it would be that I would manage to get currency to pay you back.
You have no currency?
None.
I mean, in your possession, in the entirety of your existence.
I have currency back home, but I don't even know if you recognize it.
Well, likely not if you've only just petitioned. With all due humility and respect, citizen, might I suggest Varusks? They're at the other end of the promenade. I fear that it might be taking advantage of a citizen to credit you for your wait if you are unable to provide funds or remuneration to address that credit at a later date. And I would not want to take advantage of any citizen of the Arkanoid Empire at any time.
Do you mind if I wait outside without harassment?
Outside in the public area?
It's outside the door here.
Oh, certainly.
Fine.
As long as you don't impede customers' ingress or egress.
Fine.
Certainly.
I'm just trying to find a place and sit down. I'm so trying not to cause trouble.
And as you turn to walk out, he goes, "Thank you for your thoughts, citizen."
Awkward.
Okay. So you sit down. And then you're waiting.
I'm a giant horned demon waiting on my ride. I'm a giant horned demon waiting on my ride.
If you're a giant horned demon and you're... No, okay. All right, you're waiting for your ride, right? That's funny as hell.
And your pocket's just a void.
Okay. So 5 minutes goes by. 5 more minutes go by. And 5 more minutes go by, and it's about then that you notice that everybody that comes down this cul-de-sac, about a third of them see you sitting next to that door, and they kind of like, and turn around and go the other direction. Now, from the socioeconomic status of the types of individuals that turn around and go, they weren't going to go into Leo's anyhow, okay? That just wasn't going to happen.
Okay.
Leo's looks very high-end, very pot, like You want to come in and just have a seat, they're going to start a meter.
Well, I mean, it's possible that word spread that I'm an Arkanoid.
I hadn't even thought of that. There you go. Let's up that number to like 2/5.
Oh, God.
So, it's about 5 more minutes, and a gentleman steps out. And from the bar, sort of catty corner to it, 2 gentlemen get up and come meet him at the door. It's a rather rotund, almost Asian-looking man, but he seems to be, instead of his eyes coming to a pinch at the corners, they kind of pinch in and then branch out to 3 or 4 other little slits, what would be corners of the eyes, almost squid-like. They move it's very odd. And he looks at you, and he looks down, and he looks at you, and takes you in, and reaches into his pocket and pulls out a thimble. Spooled around it is, it looks like copper wire, and he just tosses it into your lap, doesn't look at you again, and walks off. The two guys flank him, and they're walking off down the promenade.
I will pick up the copper thimble thinger.
Uh-huh.
Further examination reveal anything here?
Looks like copper wire. Looks like, 8 gauge. Or no, is it higher number the thinner it is?
Well, hey, I'm going to turn around and go back into the bar find the guy that I was talking to before.
In Leo's?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you get ready to step on the carpet, and he's like, "Sir, citizen, how may I help you?" Oh, my.
I'm not talking deliberately. I'm waiting for him to say something more.
May we help you?
Is this money?
One of the many forms of currency, yes.
He just gave me money.
Well, there it is.
You realize I'm a diplomat, right?
I know nothing about that, sir.
How much money is it?
10,000 credits? Give or take. I'd have to measure the wire.
How much is a drink?
Here?
Yeah.
6,000. Give or take. I mean, depending on the drink, you could spend the whole spool.
How much is your cheapest drink?
4,000.
What is it?
I'd have to get our mixologist to tell you that. But that, of course, doesn't cover the time of existentiality or the wear and tear on the furniture.
What?
Which would be deducted as well. Well, you are a rather large gentleman. Yes, our thinner clients pay a better rate. That's how the universe works. We make no apologies for our exclusivity, citizen. As a diplomat, I thought you might know that.
Okay, look, I give you this. You give me a drink. You leave me alone until my ship gets here. How's that sound?
He smiles and plucks the thimble from twixt your fingers. That sounds wonderful, sir. If there's change, I'll make sure you get it on your thimble.
Why do I feel like I just bought a car for the price of a drink? Oh,
and
fine,
he ushers you into a table and says, "Yes, please, have a seat."
I bet he does usher me in. I don't remember. What was your name again?
I am Leo.
Okay.
And you sit down. A waitress comes up. May I help you, sir?
Your cheapest drink.
Are you sure, sir?
Don't know how many credits were on my thimble.
Oh, it's odd that you would be worried about currency. So few people are that. Stay here. I'll check your thimble, and I'll get you something commiserate.
Thank you.
And she hustles off.
So, being part of the Argonaut, it's like living in Carmel.
Worse.
But making $15 an hour and living in Carmel.
Could be. All right. It's about 8-9 minutes later when you see the drink appear on the bar. She comes over and people start actively screaming out in the promenade. I mean, just
Really?
something's going down.
No, Scott. No, I'm sipping my drink, homie. I am sipping my drink.
Good for you, citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Waitress picks the drink up, slides across the velvety plush carpeting, bringing the drink to you with a smile on her face. About halfway between the bar and where you're at, the dulcet tones of boots on plasticine are heard in the promenade.
Okay.
A march coming toward Leo's end of the promenade.
Of course it is.
She's about 3/4 of the way there when you have heard the PA system announce 3 separate times in 3 separate languages, the last of which being yours. Citizenry, please clear the promenade as an incident has arrived.
Well, I'm not on the promenade, so I've cleared it, so fine.
You have. She stops and leans in as the front window space wall of Leo's slides back and opens to the promenade.
Of course it does.
There's about 25 men, all armed, facing Leo's.
Of course they are.
As she reaches out and sets the drink down in front of you,
Thank you.
and they holster and shoulder their weapons and point them at you.
As they do that, I sip my drink.
The closest one to you presses a button on the side of his suit, and speakers, you hear, "Citizen,
Hi.
your transportation has arrived."
I visibly relax. Ah. Can I bring the drink?
You see Leo pops up, and it was notably like, "Oh, they're not going to shoot up my place. Yay." He kind of pops his head out and goes, we would prefer not.
I bought it. Why would you care what I do with it?
Well, there'll be a charge for the glassware.
Can I get my change, please?
Certainly.
It's going to be like 10 credits.
And he runs back over and puts what looks like a ruler type thing down on the table and measures out a thing of line, and then measures out a second thing of a measurement of line, and then snips it off, slides that into a little feeder at the end of the ruler, and hands you back the thimble with about an inch, maybe a little under an inch worth of wire on it.
That is the most inefficient currency transport system. Thank you. I'm going out front.
Okay, do you finish the drink? Or do you just take your sip, set it down, and walk out?
Take my sip, set it down, and walk out.
Okay.
And to whoever actually spoke to me.
Uh-huh.
Hello, I'm Simon Wells, and you are?
Your escort. The promenade has been cleared, citizen.
All right. I'm following your lead, sir.
Certainly. We will escort you to the battlecruiser.
Hotness. Oh, no. Let's do that then.
Yes, sir. And he makes a motion with his hand. They all snap their weapons up, spin on their heels, and are headed the opposite direction. The promenade is now clear. The information desk has been the hood has come over.
Oh wait, no. There's something I'm doing as we're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I am walking in such a manner to indicate with body language that I am in charge of this little group, even though I'm not.
Okay.
I'm deliberately doing that, and then all those people that were mean mugging me, I'm mean mugging them.
Okay. All right. The majority of them they don't want to look at you. They don't want to be noticed by you. They're like, oh, crap. It is not lost upon them. There are one or two that are defiantly like, whatever. Bring it. There are one or two body jet, and you notice that they are kind of like you saw Guardians of the Galaxy Drax.
Yeah.
That sort of, there are a pair that are of his race, that are of that bulk, that are like, and they motion like, come on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's go.
I'm literally going to be like, respect. Respect.
Okay. All right. And one of them is like, and the other one's like, no, that's fine. If he wants to come beat us down, that's fine. We're not going to go start shit.
Sparta nod.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And everybody else is just like, and even worse, after that little interchange, and you just keep on walking like, oh, okay, good on you. Even worse, the rest of the group after that are just like, okay, if he was going to look that down and we don't, I don't look away, just like avert the eyes, like put a hand up, like I don't want any part of this. It was laid back and sort of grimy, a little bit on the edge of like, there's probably some nefarious stuff going on here, but the populace comes out and kind of shops and eats and does their thing. It wasn't like Deep Space Nine. It was grittier and dirtier than that, but it wasn't the cantina. It wasn't that bad. It was not the wretched hive of scum and villainy. Little darker even, I would say, than maybe Babylon 5. I mean, it was on the edges of grimy, but it was like if you were in the well-lit area and walking down the middle of the promenade, you wouldn't have gotten knifed. That's all been cleared. Like, there is no one on the lower floor of the promenade.
Oh man. This is going to go so horribly wrong. Okay. Well, there's nothing I can do about it.
2 or 3 folks at the end of the promenade toward where the lift, where the T junction is for the lift, step out in front of the group. The soldiers stop, and they kind of all cock an ear. The guy that was standing next to you leans over and goes, what did you say your planet of origin was?
Earth at these coordinates.
And what are your people called there?
We refer to ourselves as humans.
Humans. Earthers? Or Earthons? What do you guys...
Do you have a word for civilizations who aren't fully aware of life elsewhere?
Dumb?
We're slowly transitioning out of dumb.
No, but what are people from Earth called? Are they Earthins? Are they Earthors? Earthers?
A lot of people use the word Terrans.
What do you want us to...
Yeah, Terrans is good.
Terrans? Okay.
I just named my species.
Okay.
Yeah.
A moment, citizen. And he takes a step and a half away from you, presses the button on his suit, and he addresses the group of 3 or 4. They might be protesters. They might be thugs. They obviously are trying to cause trouble. And he goes, attention! The Terran is being escorted to the Arkanoid battle group. Move! And they hear a mixture of words in the middle of there that makes 3 of the 4 of them just, oh, crap, and they leave. They're just like, no. Like, we thought we wanted a piece of this. Well, we're out. And he goes, we should be fine now.
Do my people have some sort of reputation that I am unaware of?
Citizens of the Arkanoid Empire? Yes, you do. Move! And the column starts marching again, and the one guy that was standing there, the first 2 dudes peel off, pick him up bodily, and slide into one of the doors that was locked, that opens and closes, seals behind them. They're gone. You notice above now that you see that there's the crowds up above, but the top of the dome is, you can see through it. It's transparent. There are 5 large spheres, And by large spheres, we're talking 3 or 4 times the size of the space station, hovering.
Sir,
Yes, citizen.
do you have perhaps a semi-sentient educational program?
For
Teaching myself galactic law.
there are space stations 4 or 5 times as big as this that don't have all of the galactic law in them.
Well, correct. I'm just talking the basics.
That is the basics.
Oh. Well, perhaps you know then. So when a planet petitions the Arkanoid Empire, under galactic law, any resident of that planet can petition on behalf of the entire planet?
Above my pay grade, sir. I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is the Arkanoids protect what's theirs. And they
For those of you at home, I gave an audible and physical shiver.
Nice. Okay. So they march you to the lift. It's not the same lift that takes you to the docking ring. It's a lift a little to the right, a little bit more in. You hadn't noticed it just going in and out. It lifts to a higher level.
Wait, as we're going up, I'm going to try to access that panel, and I'm going to communicate/call every single one of those bastards.
Okay.
I hit all the buttons.
You're like, call. Suck it.
Ask me what I'm doing now.
Okay. They come up to a remote platform. Sitting on that platform is a large sphere that is connected to it with a gangplank. It's 3 or 4 times the size of the one that landed on Earth.
Okay.
There are 2 individuals standing at the end in basically what looks like a linen uniform, if you want to take it as that. There's a shirt, there's a sport coat type thing, and there's what look like silk pants. They're Arkanoids. They're bluish skin, white hair, red eyes, and they're just there. The lieutenant or the head dude that you were with says, I'll accompany you down the gangplank, sir, and walks ahead of you, making sure that, he's checking the walls and doing the thing, and you get to the end of the gangplank, and he says, good afternoon, citizens. I am escorting and now delivering Citizen Wells. And they look and say, thank you. You are Simon Wells, correct?
Yes, thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Your transportation has arrived. Please step aboard.
I step aboard.
Okay. The dude with the armor leaves. The gangplank pulls back the door. The gangplank pulls back, and there's empty space between you and where they were.
I feel like my episodes here are uneventful, but it's because I'm not being...
No, your episode's not uneventful at all. Your episode...
Yeah, I probably just sold
you have just earmarked
race.
like 15 plot points. You have no idea how, finger quote, eventful this has become. Oh, dear Lord.
I
didn't do that. Okay.
Well, you can't...
The force field that is obviously between you and deep cold space disappears as the side of the ship closes, and you are now in a well-lit, like a giant dome steps up, and the guy who's the obvious pilot sits down in the chair, and you notice that your position relative to the other 5 battleships that are there, the other battleship is getting much larger. The second gentleman that's standing there in the cockpit or in lounge waiting type area, which is, it's very funny. You go in to find a seat and you realize it looks a lot like Leo's, only it's not grubby. And by that I mean Leo's was some top shelf, like pristine, well-maintained, well-groomed, not a fleck out of place, and the level of cleanliness, sharp lines, dare I say bordering on sterile feel to this compartment makes Leo's look like a freaking armpit. Like it was just like somebody had just knocked over tables and taken a dump on the carpet.
So we went from Carmel to the main strip meridian.
Yeah.
Kind of, okay.
Oh, yeah. Like
Gotcha.
45th and Meridian, 48th Street and Meridian there.
we are knee-deep in Arkanoid privilege at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And the gentleman who's not doing the piloting, and by the way, the pilot's just sitting there staring at the screen. Not moving fingers, not, like, just sitting there. The guy who's not the pilot turns and looks at you and goes, I spoke with Praetor Loren. I thought you'd be taller. And he turns back to look at the screen.
Did you say Prelator Loren? I thought it was Consul Loren.
Oh, did I say Praetor? I meant Consul. Yes.
Ah. Let me ask you something.
It could be the translator.
All right, well, true. Are you familiar with galactic law, at least at a passing level?
Of course. Every Arkanoid is.
Can I ask you some questions?
Certainly.
So, when a planet petitions the Arkanoid Empire for membership,
Yes.
any resident of the planet can petition on behalf of the entire planet?
Of course.
And all it takes is that one person?
Of course. It's a petition.
But let's say, hypothetically, one person petitions for membership, but 90% of the rest of the planet disagrees and doesn't want to be members.
That would be nonsense.
Explain to me why.
Who wouldn't want to be a member of the Arkanoid Empire?
Okay.
The greatest empire in the known universe. Our enemies quake. What little of them remain. And everyone recognizes our position within galactic authority. As was witnessed by your being escorted here from the promenade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was quite obvious. So, when a planet becomes a part of the Empire, does the Empire designate someone on the planet to be in charge of it on behalf of the Empire? How does this work?
Well, there are differing levels of membership within the Empire.
All right.
First, there is an evaluation period. The petition is investigated. Membership is voted on by the council. Once a planet or system or arm of a galaxy decides is decided upon entry, and that entry is granted, then there are considerations about governmental concerns, military concerns, resource constraints for that particular populace, and what their needs are.
Is there a formal system for scientific/technological knowledge exchange?
I'm not sure I understand.
Obviously, your technology is superior to ours. Do we gain access to your science and your technology as a member of the Empire?
Oh, eventually, yes.
Eventually, as in once voted upon?
Well, once you are a member, yes.
Curious.
Sure.
Curiosity.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly understandable. Did you have other questions?
I was wondering if you had some sort of educational program that would walk me through things such as that.
For what purpose?
Galactic law.
There's no need for you to know galactic law. You don't need to be a specialist.
What if that's my ambition, to become a specialist?
Well, then certainly those may be accorded. However, it was my understanding that your main impetus for this trip was to get home.
Well, it is. I'm just trying to familiarize myself.
Understandable. And as the ship moves in, it comes up to one of the battleships. It is easy to see that this thing is a marble, and the battleship is easily the size of a minivan.
Oh, no. Oh.
It pulls into one of the battleship slots, like a little nub on the outside of it, and then the space station just is gone. They're like, oh, we've left the solar system under our minimum velocity.
Minimum velocity.
Yes.
How is this vessel powered?
It uses standard RT power.
What is RT power?
Well, that you'd need nearly a lifetime to learn. What do you mean by... It's a proprietary Arcanoid fuel system that provides acceleration and deceleration to space vessels.
You have to understand, amongst my people, I'm an engineer, so I'm inherently curious about these things.
What is your most advanced fuel cell on your planet?
Fusion.
Oh.
Right.
Imagine that you could take fusion,
Uh-huh.
all of the fusion. For example, your sun.
Right.
Let's take that. And you could compress that down, the entire fusion reaction, for all of the potential of your sun. Not the fusion reaction going on right now. The fusion reaction for the entire life of the star. Compress that down to a size that could be held in the palm of your hand. Then crystallize it so that it's inert. So that you could set it on a table. You could roll it down a hallway. Then plug that into a receptacle that is the receiver of the power source, that is the engine, the whatever it is you use to accelerate and decelerate with. And in order to access that fusion reaction, and remember, it's the entirety of the life of the star. Whenever you brush up against the sphere, little atoms of that fusion come off. Massive amounts of energy. And all the engines do, to go faster or slower, is break off a piece the size that they need.
That's fascinating.
And that's RT technology.
Does your informational database store your basic understanding of physics, chemistry, so on and so forth?
Oh, yes. We learned that when we were children.
Correct. Can I have access to that?
For what purpose?
Science?
That is science. We can verify that it is science. I've done so. I'm not sure I understand your question.
I'm going to lean kind of closer to him. I want your science.
Ah, I understand. When your petition is voted on, then we'll be able to... Of course, science. I'm a scientist myself.
I have this thimble.
Yes?
Just a glance. Just a glance. At just physics. Just physics. It doesn't even have to be chemistry. Just physics. Just let me glance. Just let me take a peek. Just
Unfortunately, sir, you'd need more thread than the clothes I'm wearing.
Oh, well.
However, science is provided once the petition has been voted upon, and then time is allotted for technical expertise. Yeah, I'm sure you understand.
Right.
Besides, that is outside the scope of the point of this journey.
Well, we have nothing else to do.
And? I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I was just saying that there's nothing else to keep us occupied for the duration of the trip.
I'm still not sure I understand.
How long is the trip going to take?
We've already begun decelerating.
Are you serious?
You said it was of
That
expedited
is
importance.
insane.
You said you needed to expedite this. A
I-
battle
I-
group
I
moves
did.
incredibly fast.
Absolutely, it does. Alrighty. Never mind then. My understanding of the speed of this vessel was woefully inadequate.
It is an Arkanoid battle cruiser. Admittedly not the top of the Imperial fleet, but still capable.
Obviously.
We should arrive at the coordinates provided. And that'll do us tonight for Gaming with Scott. We'll hear from you real soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. And that's it tonight for us on the Gaming with Scott podcast. You can always send us an email at gamingwscott@gmail.com or catch us on Twitter. Josh Elliott is at Asmodee369. Dan is at Malkware. Josh Jackson is at ActionJack853. And Rico is R1CO. Me, Scott T, at GamingWScott. This is a Southgate Media production. Remember, be the superhero you always wanted to see in the world. And as always, you will be hearing from us real soon.